So I thought what I'd do, I was called to actually do a read on this rubedo, the reddening phase. Because I've never actually worked with this energy before, and I thought I'm not quite sure how I'll do it, but I just really felt called to do it. So, what rubedo is in alchemy, it's the kind of, if we think of the story of Frankenstein, the rubedo phase would be when Frankenstein's monster comes alive. So traditionally in alchemy, it's the, if you think of the alchemical process as being the great work or the magnum opus, um, the rubedo represents the coming to life. So if you see here, the snake is literally coming to life. So it's taking form. It's becoming well, ostensibly it's uniting the two forces, like say the body and the life force, or say fire and earth, or as I've talked before about the kind of the fire and water, that Gandanta point. It's like, and in Jungian psychology, it's about kind of integrating the parts of the self so that the psychological, the psychoanalytical process is complete. So it's a form of completion. It's not. It's kind of. So, for example, with Frankenstein's monster, the rubedo is his coming to life. So then there's what happens after he comes to life, but that's the fruition. So I thought it was super interesting to get this energy because it's the uniting of the two properties, and or two polar opposites. So you've got the silver and gold, and you've got the little black, which is so you've got the three colors in alchemy. You've got the negredo, the albedo, which is the white, and the silver and gold. They're all very alchemical. So I thought super interesting energy. So I don't quite know how I'm going to do this, but I thought I'll try because it's come through, and that's kind of what I mean. I've been working. The other cards have been sort of planetary, or I've only done two, and they were both planets. So I don't know. I just felt called to work with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to the energy, see what comes through, and then I'm going to do. I'm going to pull some cards and see what the read is. I feel a bit nervous about this actually, so we'll have to see what comes through. But I'm just shuffling the cards a bit. I'm just going to do a. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Just doing a big shuffle. Actually, I'm going to cut them. These cards, I did just literally smudge them, but they're wanting a bit of a. What are they wanting? I'm just going to. Sorry to get some energy. I'll fast forward this bit. If I don't wrap myself up in to-do lists of things when editing, but okay. Right, let's tune into this energy of the rubedo or reddening. Okay, so I'm asking why this energy came through, and it's saying, okay, yeah. So it's saying that in the collective at the moment, there is a necessity to unite opposites. And actually, one of the other reads, there was something about duality and this kind of breaking apart or polarization. So this card is about the unification of the black and white, the negredo and the albedo, the two other parts of the alchemical process. It is the fruition of that. It is the life force. It is, we have claimed the splitting of consciousness, if you like, or the splitting of our, this kind of polarization that's being kind of fed into the collective, and it's saying we need to rise up like the snake and claim our life force. So that's what it wants to talk about. So, okay, I'll just make sure that there's anything else it wants to talk about. No, it wants me to get on with it. If you work with energy, you'll know some of it is, oh, there's one come straight out. Okay. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, right. And then we'll have one. Oh, is that another one? No. Oh, yeah, they're popping. Okay, right. There's three. let's see what they've got to say. And bottom of deck is Two of Cups in reverse. So I'll show you the cards. Hold on. I can have a little sip of me tea. So good. Okay. So we've got 10 of Pentacles. This deck is really beautiful. It's the Pagan Otherworlds deck by UUsi. I think it's called UUsi. And the meanings are slightly different. The imagery is slightly different, and they don't do reversals, but we haven't got any reversals, so it doesn't matter. But yes, so the 10 of Pentacles is traditionally about a fulfillment, whereas in this deck, it's slightly different. I'm just going to read all the energy first, and then I'll go into the actual cards. So the next card is two tens, interesting. 10 of Wands. The next card is the Moon. Interesting energy. Every tarot reader says that. I'm not a tarot reader. I'm just reading tarot. Says interesting. Like if you watched a bit interesting. Anyway, it is interesting. I love feeling the energies when they come through. It's like, oh, what's that one? So let's just see. Let's just tune into Rubedo again and see how it wants to interpret these cards. Okay. So this is a collective reading, but some people it's going to apply to situations. I think it's going to be one of those reads where is one of those reads that is kind of a parable from multiple areas in our life. So basically, traditionally, this card is like fulfillment, like all that we've wished for. You've got the beautiful castle in the background, you've got all your money, you've got your beautiful dogs there representing kind of the happy family, the kind of 2.5 white picket fence, that whole thing that everybody wishes for. However, it is with the 10 of Wands and the Moon. So normally I tend to read the cards individually and then make them into the story, whereas this has come out very much as a little triptych. So what it's saying, or what the Rubedo is saying, is that what has happened in our collective and why we've got this polarization is because the 10 of Wands hasn't been the 10 of Wands. It's been, okay, I better tell you what they mean. I've just told you that. So this happy families that we've been promised in the West, if you live in all kind of everywhere, it's like if you go to university, get a job, work hard, get married, earn your money, buy your house, have your 2 dogs, get your picket fence, then you will have everything. However, it's not major arcana, it's pentacles, which is earth energy. So it's very much in the 3D on this, material plane. You work hard, you do your thing, and you will get financial reward. However, the 10, and 10 is a culmination. It's a kind of end of a cycle. 10 of Wands. That's been a lot of effing hard work for pretty much no return. We've got the house, yes, we've got the money, the 2 dogs, and that's great. But why do we not feel deeply, deeply fulfilled on a spiritual level? Because people get to, I don't know, whatever age, have them, they have everything and they're like, okay, what's missing? And it's been a struggle. And the 10 of Wands, it's fire energy. It's also about creativity. And what's popping, or what the Rubedo is saying, is this creativity, the Wands of creative energy, fire, they're tangled up. So by spending your life or your energy into this, what is ostensibly a fantasy, we're tangling ourselves up and restricting our own creativity. If that, traditionally it represents a weight, carrying a weight, and you're nearly at the end of your journey, except because you can see in the distance there's the little house. So that's the kind of the message normally of this card. But what's coming through is this is a lot of hard work to get here, And this is what we're promised. And when we get here, we don't realize that it's all this hard work on the material plane, but it's been trapping our creative freedom to get. And it always seems like a little bit, to me, this is coming through, a little bit keeping up with the Joneses. Oh, there's always a bit more. There's always a bit more. There's always a bit more. Breaking your back, breaking our backs to get the thing that's out of reach. This promise of the happy family, which is great, as long as you're not pinning your hopes. And this card from this particular deck is very much about a kind of illusion. So it's a slightly different energy to the normal deck. So this is coming through at like, okay, we're promised this, but people are realizing now that this, what we were promised, a lot of people are finding actually, look at things like Hollywood and the music industry, they're crumbling, and all that glitters is not gold. And at what expense of our own energy, our own excuse my nails, sorry, our own creativity, our own life force is trapped, and it's all going away. It's all our fire is being spent, that carrot dangling. And the moon. So the moon is about illusion, deception. We've got lots of, if you've watched any of the other piles, we've got lots of Neptune in the mix at the moment. So, but at the same time, we've got a lot of planets going retrograde, we've got an eclipse coming up, and it doesn't matter when you watch this, these energies are always at play. But if we look at the big picture, the kind of the rubedo, this is the finality of a work, a life's work. This is a life's work. And yet you come out feeling like it's all been smoke and mirrors. So obviously we can apply that to lots of situations. You can apply that to say, I've been working really hard towards something, and I've realized at what expense. And also, who is telling me that I should do this? Where have I been believing things that maybe aren't quite what they seem? So I feel like this message is kind of multi-layered. It's which deceptions have we been following? Two of Cups in the bottom of the deck. Again, this promise. I know this card normally means, I've done that again. I did that twice. It's I've noticed I do that where I've got two cards, and that means that these are in conflict. So this Two of Cups, oh my goodness, meet your soulmate. And yeah, interestingly, those two rocks are interesting. But yeah, meet your soulmate who you fancy madly. It has to be perfect. They have to look a certain way, they have to be a certain way. We've got apps you can swipe through, and there's an unlimited bevy of beauties, or what do you call buff guys? I don't know. Yeah, at the tip of your fingers, you pick up your phone and you've got the perfect match. It's an illusion. It's not an illusion, but it's how do we go about that? Is our Two of Cups real? Is this real, or is it an illusion? Have we been sold an idea that is actually trapping us? And so what's coming now through is, because it's the Two of Cups, is about love and about internet dating, because the moon is smoke and mirrors, and of course internet dating at the moment with the planetary stuff we've got going on, a lot of Neptune, a lot of deception, a lot of deceit. Pluto's just moved into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So I assume you'll be watching that within the next 20 years. So again, it's this air energy. Air is very fast. It rules technology, advances in technology. So things have already moved away from, meeting someone that your parents chose for you, or whatever, that the local landowner that owns the nearby estate. I don't know what people used to do. That's what they used to do, actually. Yes, so with Pluto in Aquarius, it rules that very fast energy, but again, it can be deceitful. I'm not saying Aquarius is deceitful, but it's very cold energy. I mean, Aquarius is great, but it's sharp, it's fast, it's not always about, it's very creative, very, very creative, but it's not fire, it's air energy, which is thought, So this is water, this is emotion, and this is a major arcana. So the biggest energy is the energy of deception, and the rubedo is what's happening that we need to fix. How do we unite these energies, this kind of Aquarian energy? I mean, the moon isn't Aquarius, but the moon's actually ruled by Cancer, which is rules Cancer, which is a water energy. So where is the earth energy, as in the practical? Where is the practicalities of life trapping our creative fire, and this carrot dangling of, oh, if you just do this, you can be this and that and the other, or you can be a billionaire if you just work a bit harder. Well, the fact is, I can't remember. My sister told me something about what's the difference between a million and a billion. And it's something like, if you work, and it was, I think, hours in the day, and if you worked, I can't remember what it was, so I probably shouldn't quote it, but like a million was like working 10 hours. I'm going to get this horribly wrong. And a billion was like working for 350 years or something. I can say I'll put it in the comment section, but I won't. So please feel free to correct me and give me the actual data on that one. But kind of like the moon, what you hear on the internet is usually off the top of somebody's head and can be incredibly deceptive. So yes, so it's about, so the Two of Cups, the romantic energy coming in, that's coming in quite hot. So let me just go to your Rubedo again and see what Rubedo wants to say. Yes, it says uniting of the opposites. So it's talking about coitus, the snake rising. And when it talks about the masculine, feminine, it's talking about the masculine and feminine. Okay, so those are archetypes. Everything in this is an archetypes. No, it's not an archetype. It's an alchemy deck. But all of these things in tarot are archetypes. So when it talks about the union of opposites and the black and the white, these are energies. So it was bringing in, sorry, I've lost my track there. Sex. That's all I ever think about. Can't say that on YouTube. Yeah, it's quite, this is getting quite saucy, for a giant snake. So it's talking, okay, this makes sense. Perfect. So it's saying, because going back to what I was saying about the internet dating, is the illusion that we once had that was real, pentacles, has now become an actual illusion. This Two of Cups, once upon a time we were being sold this physical house, this physical life that's been trapping our energy. Now we've been sold the Two of Cups, as in the perfect love. Now, I mean, you can work really hard and get money and buy yourself a house and all of that at the expense of your energy and everything else. But if there isn't any other kind of impossible dream, it's like you can't work hard. Well, you can. I mean, I'm not saying that love isn't absolutely real, because of course it is. In fact, it's the most real thing. But I love the way that card is like so rude and isn't rude at all. So it's like, now the way forward is not to believe the lie, not to believe the illusion, this Pluto in Aquarius, this you'll find love on your next swipe. This is to say, although we've been told that this Pentacles energy, this earth, so it's almost like I'm talking about the collective energy. It's like we've realized that one of the things we thought was true is actually a lie, but the thing that is true we now think is a lie. So actually that philosopher Hannah Arendt said in the, I think, I can't remember if it's the 60s or anyway, a while ago, that when you hear a load of lies, you don't believe the lies, but you no longer know where the truth is. So you don't believe anything. And when you don't believe anything, you've got nothing to hold on to. So you're very easily manipulated. So I feel like that's the energy of the moon. You don't know what's real. Everything is kind of, shadows and things like that. It's in the darkness, and you're not, and a lot of people in this day and age feel like they're in the darkness. They don't know which bit's real. And of course, with the internet dating, etc., that's an absolute thing. You don't know what's real. Of course you don't know what's real. But love is real, and the feeling of love, again, this kind of nebulous energy, it is a nebulous energy. It's not, I mean, it is, but you can't buy it. You can't work hard and be guaranteed you're going to have it. I mean, obviously you have to work hard to look after the people we love, as in like nurture the relationships. But it's this kind of contradiction, and I hope this is making sense, because what Rubedo is saying is, in order to unite the opposites, we have to go back to this 10 that we've felt was a massive burden and been told, like, oh my goodness, you've had to work so hard for your whole life. It's actually the opposite of the burden. It's that we have burdened ourselves by not unleashing this and interestingly, the wands also rules our creative fires in all areas of creation. So love, sensuality, all of those areas. So we've had that creative life force within us. That's when I say creative, I talk about all the areas of creation. You don't have to be an artist to get down, but we've been trapped by, like, even our sensuality has been commodified. It's like you can buy. Actually, there's a brilliant book by Eric Fromm, The Art of Love. It sounds like some sort of Kama Sutra, but actually it's a really beautiful book. And it talks about precisely this, the commodification of love and of relationships, since basically he wrote it in the 1940s, I think. And it's really beautiful because it talks about exactly this. We've become products. It's like the person that I want to be with has to look good in family photos. They have to be this weight. They have to be this height. They have to be this blah, blah, blah. That's not how love works. You love someone for their imperfections. You love someone because they're crooked smile or whatever. And so we've made it into a product that can be bought and sold. Never more so. I mean, if he was saying that in the 40s, it was a problem. I mean, now you can literally go on the internet and swipe left or right. Yes, no, swipe, 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 swipe. There's no connection to the actual physical self, to the fire, the creative fire that makes someone real. It's been made into a burden. So even though this card would traditionally mean burden, in this particular read, it's saying, no, we have to go back and assess the things that we thought were burdens, but actually were being wrapped up, being trapped in our own drive to reach something that's always going to be unattainable, always the next keeping up with the Joneses. Oh, your house isn't big enough, your car's not big enough, don't you need new this, don't you need a new phone, don't you need a bigger, better, faster? And people are now gone, yeah, I don't feel like all the money, honey, all the power's a different matter, but yeah. What about the illusion? And what about my actual Two of Cups? It's water energy, it's emotion. What do I actually feel? Not what does the internet tell me? Don't listen to tarot readers on the internet. You could be having that rude bit in the middle if you listen to your heart and tune into your real love and your creative fire and your creative energy, and uncross that 10 of Wands, and you will have a whole bunch of fire and creative energy that belongs to you, that you've been carrying and thinking it was a burden. Let's see if Rubedo has anything else to say. It says, go make love. And I know that's coming from a snake, so that's fairly hardcore, but it means make love, like make, literally with your creative energy, make love. In every action you do, the things you thought were burdens, let them be pleasures. Like, I don't know, take pleasure in small little acts of, like, I don't know, making a cup of tea for someone. It's an act of creativity, it's an act of love. And if you think those very basic things are burdens, it's like, reassess them. You know, eating bread together, you know, these really simple pleasures. Move away from this illusion of the perfect life. So the snake didn't tell me this, but I'm telling you, go read Eric Fromm, The Art of Love, because I think that sums up this reading all in one. Is return to your heart, return to the heart center, and that will reunite the polarization and manipulation. You know, return to the earth, but don't return to the love of the material world. So there's a fine line between that. Returning to the earth energy. Earth energy is actually like, you know, Taurus, the kind of the bull. It's like that kind of very sensual, ruled by Venus. So again, like eating bread, those really simple pleasures, being in nature, putting your feet on the ground. Actually, that's the point. I've got a grounding mat underneath me and I've got shoes on. So anyway, I digress. Yeah, so really returning to the earth, but in a completely different way. So the way I've read these cards is not the traditional way, and it's that kind of flipping it on its head. So that was interesting because I've not worked with that energy before, but I think that was fun. I hope it was fun to watch. It was fun to do. Thank you, Rubedo. And thank you, Kim Krans. This is just like such a good deck. And I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful deck. Yes. So thank you to both of I wasn't given them, I paid for them, but you know what I'm saying? These are just beautiful things to have been brought into the world. Thank you for watching. Lots of love. Bye.